We are here to rank Fontaines DC's third album, Skinty Fia. I'm going to let you in behind the curtain. We were going to do the first and second album, but we can't be fucked. So we're just going to do it now. We're going to do this album because we feel like we actually might have something to say that might last more than 3 minutes.
We also covered this when it came out, so we're not all unfamiliar with it.
Yes, that is another
as
reason.
you guys are with the first two, at least.
Yep, 100%.
As you are.
Don't stop.
I'm going to throw some shade out there. I listened to Doggerel today just to see if, it had changed. No, still does nothing for me.
No, albums tend to stay the same. Yeah, unless they release like a...
I've changed. 5 years ago that was released. I'm a different man. I've got 2 bad knees now. So let's just go straight in with the first track. Liam, please enlighten me on the pronunciation.
Inagriajo.
Beautifully done.
Thank you. I practiced that.
I assume. It's a good opener, but I believe you two have some thoughts on it after seeing it live.
Well, just the fact that it
better live.
Slap as much as it does live. Yeah, it doesn't hit as hard. I still think it's a really great opener to this album.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it does set the mood well for what's to come.
Yeah.
Even if it is exciting, whereas some of this isn't. But no, this is definitely a high point for me on this album.
I agree.
As I imagine it is for you too. Yes, it is. So, 2 to 4?
I'd say 2 to 4, yeah. It really builds tension well. And it has something to grasp on too, which is a bit seldom on the album. So it's definitely one of the better ones. I'd say 2 to 4 as well.
I would say 5 to 7 for sure, because I know I like 4 songs better than this. But that's not to say I don't that I disagree with what you've said. I certainly agree that it's a great opener, really builds up well. I think going back to the age-old conversation around Green's vocals, and I mentioned this on the Romance review. That returning back to Skinty Fia after hearing Romance, the only one issue that has somehow developed is that I find the vocals more difficult to listen to on Skinty Fia, which I never had that issue before Romance came out. I was fine with it, and I know you two did. So it's kind of weird that I now kind of get that a bit more now. I've seen a slightly better kind of set of vocals in terms of kind of how interesting it is rather than ability, but this is one of the songs where that's mostly apparent for me. The vocals in this one.
Okay,
this
well,
one doesn't actually bother me on this.
By democracy, it's still 2 to 4.
Yeah, we'll still go 2 to 4. Yeah.
Don't really know what talking too much.
Next up, we've got Big Shot, which takes all momentum out from the album. So just give yourself a chance, boys. You know what I mean? Like, why are you going from a behemoth of an opener, if I say so myself, where the tension is building, to just complete and utter monotony?
Yeah, I do like the certain elements of it. I like when he's talking the words "big shot," the line he mentions that in. But this is the full song. The
placement is probably
for me.
Placement is probably knocking it down in my eyes, but at the same time, it's just much of a muchness. It's just not really doing anything for me at all.
I've never really noticed the kind of momentum drop there, and I see it. It's never really been a problem for me, because it feels like the opener is like it's like a prologue. So, epilogue. Which one's the one before? Prologue. I'm sure it is prologue, isn't it? And so it's its own sort of self-contained thing. So almost like the album starts at Big Shot in a way, if that makes sense. Like that's the kind of it's an introduction, and then here we go. So it doesn't feel like it's building up and then it drops. Like that's happened and Big Shot starts. That's how I see it. The song itself, I really like Big Shot. I really love the sound of it. I love the kind of the power behind the guitars and stuff. Just feels it just feels massive to listen to. I think it's something that was a bit of an issue with the new album. It just feels big and meaty, and I like that.
I would say 5 to 7 personally.
Yeah, go on, whack it in there.
God, this is just pure. This is. I hate democracy. I hate it. Because it's just gonna go completely. I feel like I'm gonna be different. The outlier on all of these. Anyway, let's crack on.
Yes, you are an outlier.
Now we're talking about momentum
Alcohol
dropping.
Lovers.
This one for me is. Yeah, I don't love How Cold Love Is. There are certain parts of it I like. I kind of like the way Green sings some of the parts, that kind of rhythm. But the song itself isn't much of a muchness. I'd use that term here.
Yeah.
Not a lot happens.
No.
The most interesting part is probably the vocals.
Yeah, I enjoy the overlapping vocals when they occur, but in general, I just kind of epitomises Fontaines DC for me. It's just what I really like, and the rest just kind of fall into this category of.
Yep.
Couldn't care less.
It's a Fontaines album track. I feel like that's its own genre.
Wow.
That's its own designation. It's a Fontaines DC album track. You know exactly what you're gonna get. It's probably fine.
I'd say 8 to 9.
Yeah, go on.
I'd go with you on that one, guys.
Jackie down the line.
Jackie down the bloody line.
Now, this is through purely my own fault. I really, really struggle to listen to this song now because of how much I caned it when it came out. It is an undeniably fantastic song. I really did like it at the time, but I kind of need to distance myself from my feelings because I really, really struggle to stomach it now, which is a shame. But it's still undeniably one of the better tunes on the album.
For me, it's the best.
Quite possibly.
And I would say it's number 1.
That is what the best means.
Yes, it is. It's what the tempo about it. His vocals suit what's going on, which sometimes I don't feel like is always the way. I love the guitar work in it. I think I said this when we reviewed it, but some of the chorus effects on the guitar and the lines they play are quite war painty. And I like that a lot. So, yeah, number 1 for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I would definitely put it straight into 2 to 4. There's no question about that. I don't know. Probably it's too early to say number 1. I don't know if it's my number 1 either. But yeah, I agree, Callum. I had the same issue for a while. I was not interested in listening to it, but it's been a while now.
Come back round.
It just kind of it just slaps. It's a great tune. There's a reason we were so kind of buzzing for Skinty Fia after this single and a couple of the others. The Fontaines curse again. It's its own thing. It should be studied. But yeah, Jackie down the
just
line.
not as good as everyone says.
Yeah, maybe. Certainly. So yeah, I'd say 2 to 4 definitely. For Jackie down the line, just a great song. It also really takes me back to when this came out.
Yes.
That summer it came out. Well, it came out in April. So yeah, the summer that followed, I feel like it was around the same time maybe as Malady, or was that earlier? I don't know.
Oh God,
that's well earlier, isn't it? That's like 2020.
What a time!
That it kind of feels like that anyway. Feels like around. I don't know. Seemed like a good time. So 2 to 4. That's my job.
Melody is the thing.
Next up is Bloomsday, really taking the life back out of the album again. They seem to have a knack for that. I'm just going to say 8 to 9. Really,
yes,
doesn't really do anything for me.
8 to 9, yeah, I agree. I think it had potential. I like the guitar tone. The wailing sound is nice, but it doesn't really live up to any potential that it could have had.
Yeah, I do agree. I do still kind of I think this is a good example of where I think the album tracks from Skinty Fia are more interesting than the album tracks from Romance.
And like we did in the review, I agree with you, but I don't think they're as.
They sound better. They just sound better. I feel
they're more interesting, but they're not as complete.
Maybe.
That's not a It's not a better song. but it had the potential to be a better song.
Yeah, maybe.
IMO.
I think what they needed on Romance was just add a bit of distortion on the bass is what I wanted. I just, go on. This is I just love the sound of this album. I don't know what it is. It's every time I listen to it, regardless of the songs, it feels very nice in my ears. But yeah, Bloomsday 89 feels fine.
Yeah, boy.
Roman Holiday is next.
High up. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I really like this too.
Yeah, it's a good one.
This one, it's the closest Fontaines have given me that feeling, that I talk about, that nondescript feeling of liking something, maybe. But
Boner?
But potentially, mate, yeah. Yeah. It just feels nostalgic. It feels comforting.
Yeah.
It just feels like them living up to their fucking potential.
It just feels so full of It actually feels like they're coming with a message on this album, on some of these songs, I think, is another thing. Again, I keep harking it back because we've just done this fucking Romance review. But the feeling of urgency and the feeling of kind of they've got something to push on this album. I feel like they're trying to tell you something. Without even I don't really pay attention to the lyrics, if I'm being deadly honest. But it just the delivery and stuff feels much more powerful and interesting on songs like this.
This is the closest sort of Fontaines album track that does something.
Was this not a single?
Yeah, it was.
It
Yeah, it was a thing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why it feels like it does something there. Never mind. 2 to 4.
I'd argue 1, but I will say 2 to 4 for now.
Mate, but
yeah.
Yanni's not going to give up. Callum,
No.
Be aware of that.
Well, we know that Jackie Down the Line isn't Liam's number 1, and it's not my number 1. So, Yanni, newsflash, asshole.
We don't know that that's the number 1, do we?
No.
The couple across the way is what we're talking about next. Wow, yep. What a great song to talk about.
What a 10 song. 10-10. Not 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I suppose it is 10, isn't it? I suppose that's... Do you know what? I like what they're trying to do here, and it's nice to listen to, but it's so hard to, if you're ranking an album where everything's very consistent, I say very consistent, it does feel like all the other songs are the same album, and this is a break, and that's obviously what they were trying to do. You can't really put them down for that. But then it's well, all these songs kind of sound the same, and so there's a clear hierarchy of which ones are then better, because we're comparing apples with apples. And then here's a fucking grapefruit. But it's just not on the same scale, is it? Clearly.
They're not the same fruit.
No, but a song like this would work as a 90-second interlude. We don't need 4 minutes.
Yes. If this was so much shorter than what it was, I probably would like it. But
I actually didn't. I've just been kind of skipping through it, and have failed to notice the fact it's 4 minutes, because I think I would usually just skip this on an album anyway.
Yep, that's about right.
And that is a long time.
Yeah,
that is a long time.
No more needs to be said. Liam, SKINTY FIA is the next track. 5 to 7.
5 to 7 with the potential to have been so much better. The instrumental is really interesting. Feels like the fucking Matrix or some shite.
Yeah. Real good.
But the rest of it is just so I just don't care. Just
it's the vocals.
Capitalize on that fucking.
Yeah, the vocals on this one are what let it down. Although he does give it a bit more towards the end.
Yeah.
But apart from that, do I have that time? I don't have that time.
Great guitar parts in this, though, and the background, the. I think the song's great. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, because I now kind of understand the vocal thing a bit more, but I don't have an issue with it on this one, because I think the song is it's a good song, very good song.
Instrumentally, it's fantastic. Song, take it or leave it.
But what?
Personally.
Okay. So what are we saying? 5 to 7.
Yep.
Now we're getting to 2 potential.
Yeah. I love you, guys.
Ah, mate, love you too, pal.
That's so sweet. Talk about romance.
Yeah, this is a good one. A very good one.
Yeah. Objectively, it's very good. Subjectively, I don't really like it.
What? What?
You
I don't know
mad?
why. I
What?
just don't really like it. I don't know why. I think it's a vocal thing.
I think this is one of their best songs.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've just.
Easily. It's
I'll
so
admit
good.
it's one of the. I'll admit it's one of the better ones on the album in terms of song. But just for my personal enjoyment, I've never grasped it.
I'd love to pull up the original review of this, because I guarantee you were saying the complete opposite
Maybe.
on that review.
Maybe, but then at the same time, this album was released however many years ago, a year and a bit ago. 2 and a bit years ago. Never gone back to the album until doing this. So I
You're
clearly
too
didn't like
busy
it that
listening
much.
to fucking Blossoms again. That's not our problem, Callum. Wake up, sheeple. That's what you are.
I
don't know.
think 2 to 4 with knowing the kind of debate that we're about to have with the next song.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
2 to 4. But I just want to just go on this song again. It's very, very good. And that when it kicks back in after that first kind of build up is so good. That's such a great bit of songwriting, and they really fucking nailed it. So go on, we'll put a 2 to 4 for now, eh?
Okay. Nabokov is the closer. The last track we have to rank. And I think this is a bloody fantastic way to end the album.
Bang on.
Also just a bloody fantastic song,
It's
really,
just
isn't
an
it?
amazing song.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. It's so good. And every time, I'm not going to claim that I've listened to SKINTY FIA a million times over the years, but whenever I do revisit it, I forget this how it ends. It always blows me away. And today it did exactly the same thing. And I was like, oh, fuck me, this song's good. It was amazing live. I didn't remember Yanni. It was so good. Oh, it's just so good.
Yeah.
It is really good. Yeah.
It's really hit
And
by it has.
I remember this one kind of taking me back a bit. I hope I said it on the review because I remember this one. And I haven't come back to it. So when I did revisit it, I feel like I've really gained a new great song in my life.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, but again, it's just annoying, isn't it? Because they are capable of this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They just need to sort of nail the more peaceful songs, you know, slower.
Just do less of them.
Well, no, I think you need to have a bit of that in your life. But
Yeah.
they just need to fine tune that a bit because they've got this down to a T. This aspect.
And this is this leans so heavily on his vocals. You know, there's such a great part of just pure raw vocal, and he's not singing like fucking Pavarotti or something. Do you know what I mean? It's like
No.
He's just going for it, and it works so well. And there's no
Yeah.
need to try and change anything. Yeah, it's so good. I mean, this is the collective number one, isn't it? Surely at this point,
It's got to be. Yeah.
I feel like it has to be.
it's the only
Yeah.
one we've all agreed is fantastic. So
Yeah.
Nabokov number one. But that does leave us
Nice.
with a job to put something down.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, and I'm gonna jump in and just say it's the opener for me.
I'd probably put I Love You based on my thoughts, but I could admit it is a good song. It's just purely personal. There's something that I've not clicked with. So I can accept the opener.
Well, this isn't going to help things, but I think it would be Roman Holiday.
It's definitely not
Holidays.
Roman Holiday.
So it's not Jackie Down the Line. Because
Yep.
none of us just said that. So that's staying.
Okay.
What are your second picks? Let's see.
To stay?
No, to go. So, Yanni, you wanted to get rid of
But I want to get rid of Roman
Roman
Holiday.
Holiday. Callum, your I Love You, and I'm opener.
My second one would probably be the opener.
I mean, for the sake of losing interest, let's just move the opener down.
No, shut up, Yanni. make a second pick. There's only 2 other songs you can pick from. We're saving Jackie Down the Line. Just pick one of the other ones.
I Love You would be my second pick, so that doesn't count for anything.
And what was yours, Callum? You went for...
I Love You, then the opener.
Okay. The opener, and then I would say Roman Holiday. So...
Roman
We're
Holiday?
literally at a bloody... I'm past caring, so if you want to put Roman Holiday down, please do.
I mean, that actually didn't work because we all said different ones again, didn't we? So, we can't be past caring. If anyone's
Roman
still watching
Holiday
at this
for
point,
me
they're not past
is
caring.
like Roman Holiday feels like the 2 that are currently in 5 to 7. It's just that little more that makes it better. Whereas the other 3 that are in 2 to 4 at the moment are their own thing. They offer more and in different ways. That's why I'm saying Roman Holiday should be moved down.
Yeah, I get that logic.
I think Roman Holiday provides more emotion. Personally, that would it make.
I think it provides more emotion as a better song than the opener.
I agree. I think, and this is coming from someone who's not seen the opener live, so I understand that Yanni probably has that emotion connected to it. But this is the most I've felt from a Fontaines DC tune. Not necessarily the most enjoyable, but it actually moves me to some extent. Whereas the rest are just kind of like, I enjoy it or I don't.
Oh God, we don't often come to a complete stalemate, do we?
No.
Why
don't we let the comments decide?
Go on, let's just do that. Let's just do that. Tell us which one should have gone down, guys, in the comments below, down there, below the description, below the subscribe button you need to press, and also below the likes that you need to click, the ones up, and then and also the save and all the. It says comments, and you click it and you type your name. Oh no, you don't type your name. Your name's already there. You type the song, and it's the.
And if that wasn't clear enough, I don't know what is.
Use your ears.
This is the first rank we've not been able to finish. We are edged out of our minds right now. Good night.
Blue.
Good night.
Good night.